Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to do a series on our back that's going to help your lower back feel fantastic. It's also going to unlock the tension and stress we carry in the front of the chest and relax those shoulders. So come and join me on your back, and if you have a yoga block, that might be nice to add into the mix, but not necessary. So all the way down to your back into an all over body stretch. You're lengthening from the belly to the ball of the foot, from the belly to the fingers, your tummy engaged. And then on the exhale, hug the knees into the chest. Just a sweet little embrace and rock side to side. Now these first few moments, you're exploring. Noticing the back of your hip against the floor. If one side feels a little achy or sore, one side presses into the floor a little more than the other, or one side concave, just aware. Good. Now slight difference. You're going to hold the palms onto the kneecaps and just use your hands to help guide your knees into little circles. So essentially you're making your way around the sacrum like a clock face. Now the sacrum is that little triangular bone on your backside, right, between the hips. And you go towards the left side, the tailbone, the right side, the top of the sacrum. And again, you just notice if there are any tender spots. Let's switch directions. Notice if there are any spots that are really pronounced. And nothing might be popping up. That's fine. In the beginning, we just ask the questions. The answers will come. Good. And then you're going to release the legs and stretch them out straight. Now resting on your back just for a moment, check in again. Notice if one leg is turned out more than the other, and you can take a peek. And you'd know the leg's turned out because the toes are pointing a little more to the ankle. Notice if one hip or sit bone, bottom feels like it's tucked under more. How does the bottom feel against the floor? Mid-back, shoulder blades. Where are the backs of the thighs in relation to the floor? So I'm asking a lot of questions, and I'm asking quickly. I don't want you to overthink it, just want you to be aware of them. Now from here, you're going to bring knees and toes to point up towards the sky. Keep your left knee and toes pointing up to the sky, and very slowly turn your right leg out. Slide your right foot up into the tree position, sole of the right foot against left inner thigh. Now stretch your arms alongside your ears and notice if your rib cage wants to pop away from the floor. So slowly move the sides of the rib cage towards the sticky mat, activating your transverse abdominals. So it's a core strengthener, believe it or not. You can get a lot of work done on the floor on your back. Extend from the belly out through the ball of the foot, from the belly out through the fingertips, and lengthen from your right hip out through the knee. It's the lengthening that's going to give you the deeper stretch. And we're moving somewhat slowly with this. Good. Now slowly rotate your right knee to face up towards the sky, sole of the foot flat on the floor. Cross your knee a few inches over to the left, so your weight is a little more on the inner edge of the right foot. So you'll notice we went from an external rotation to an internal with that right thigh. Slowly, and it's tough with the sticky mat, keeping weight on the inner edge of the right foot, slide the right foot forward, so you slide in the internal rotation, and then back to neutral. Round 2, turn your right leg out. Left knee and toe still pointing to sky. Slide the right foot into tree. Lengthen from belly to fingers, from belly out through the ball of the foot, from right hip to knee. This could be a pretty intense inner thigh stretch on that right leg, front of the left thigh and hip, or maybe not much at all. It just depends where you hold your tension. Rotate right leg so knee faces sky. Bring your weight to the inner edge of the right foot and slowly slide that right foot forward in the internal rotation. We'll do 2 more. Turn the right leg out, slide the foot up into tree. Good, tummy engaged. Inhale, rotate the leg, knee to face sky. Cross the knee over the midline. And with that internal rotation, slide the leg straight. Last time, turn the leg out a little. Slide the foot into tree. And we're actually moving very fast through the sequence. It's meant to be taken super slow, but we're moving a little faster. You're gonna rotate the right leg so knee faces sky, aware of the changes. Knee crosses midline, and maintain that internal rotation as you slide the leg straight. And then relax arms, relax legs, and feel. Feel the difference between right and left leg. The back of the right thigh in relation to the floor, even the right buttocks, the back of the hip. And hopefully you notice a difference, that one side is a little more settled than the other. All right, next side. Knee and toes, both legs point to the sky. Turn your left leg out, slide the left foot up into tree pose. Extend the arms alongside the ears. Move the rib cage towards the floor. And actively lengthen from the belly out through the ball of the right foot, from the belly out through the fingers, and lengthen from the left hip out through the knee. Good. Trying to keep that right inner thigh heavy and anchored so you're not rocking all the way to the left. A few more breaths here. We take the first round very slowly, allowing the muscles to adapt, the body to open. And then rotate the left leg, knee points to the sky. Cross the knee over the midline and slowly stretch the leg forward. Good. I went that time very quickly. Turn the left leg out. Slide the foot into tree pose. Good. Keeping your belly engaged. Slowly rotate the left leg, knee faces sky. Cross the left knee over the midline. We'll hold just for a little breath. And then slide that left foot forward. Good. Two more times. Turn the leg out. Slide the foot into tree. Good. A breath. Rotate the left leg so knee faces sky. Bring your weight to the inner edge of the left foot. Maintain that internal rotation, stretch straight. Final time, turn the left leg out. Slide the left leg up, foot into tree. Sides of the rib cage root, lengthen from belly out through the periphery, fingers and toes. Rotate knee to face sky, cross over the midline. And then slide the legs straight and relax. And you should notice a difference. The backs of the thighs closer to the floor, the hips are broader and more settled, not quite as tensed and toned. Still toned, but I should say clenched, not tensed and clenched. Hug the knees into the chest. Good. Legs bent, lower the feet to the sticky mat. Extend the right leg to the sky and turn your right leg out. Then bend the right leg, ankle over knee, and from here, you're gonna hug your legs into the chest as a unit. The feet are flexing, your toes are spreading. You're drawing the belly in and up a little bit. Good. And you take a few deep breaths here, maybe feeling something in the outer right hip. Now, if you can't hold the back of the left thigh, you can always place a belt behind it and hold on to the belt instead. Good. You've got it. Now keep the legs in this shape, and you're gonna rotate onto the outer left hip, bringing the sole of the right foot down to the floor. And I'm not sure what I did with my block, but if you have a block, place the block against that right inner thigh. So it's in the left hand. I can feel the block now. I'm gonna reach for it. See if I can get creative just to show you. Block in the left hand. You press the inner right thigh away from you. The right arm's extending like a T. And if you don't have the block, no problem. You can use your hand. Just gives you a little bit of extra leverage to have the block. You could always use a water bottle or a tissue box. You can get creative. Maybe not a heavy book though. Good. Inhale, come back through the center and we switch. You're gonna extend the left leg to the sky, externally rotate the leg, bend at the knee, hug the legs into the chest. So the legs are at about right leg's at a 90-degree angle. You press right thigh into the hands as the hands draw the legs into the chest. Beautiful. Just a steady, deep breath. Unlocking and opening the hips. Good. And then roll onto the outer right hip. Bring the sole of the left foot down to the floor. You can use the block or your hand against the left inner thigh, and you press the inner thigh away from you. And again, this will open side body, top of hip to release the back, the shoulders. Tension in the spine starts to dissolve. Beautiful. Just take another breath. And then on the inhale, you're going to come back through the center and release the leg. Wonderful. Legs still bent, widen the feet to be as wide as a sticky mat. Now lower the knees to the right. You'll find your knees are nice and wide. Extend the left arm alongside the ear. Scoop your tailbone and lengthen from the left hip out through the knee. You're looking for a thigh stretch on the left leg, maybe wrapped around to mid-back, side body, because the left arm's stretching. And if you don't feel this in the left thigh, you can always reach down for your foot, and you can gently draw the heel closer to the hip, pointing the foot as you do so. And that should make it a little more intense. And if you don't feel much, that's okay. You're still getting a nice release for the hip flexors. I've got other yoga poses for you. Inhale, come back through the center, and now we go knees to the left, and right arm extends. So you can see initially my right foot is far away from my hip and the foot is flexed. The adjustment here for the deeper thigh stretch is to reach for your foot, to draw the heel closer to the hip. Never forcing. If your knee doesn't like it, don't do it. The hip and thigh aren't ready and the knee's trying to tell you that. One more breath, actively lengthening from right hip to knee. You're scooping your tailbone to help with that. Good work. And then inhale, you're gonna come back through the center. As you come into the center, let's go ahead and stretch both legs straight. Bring the inner edges of the legs together to touch, arms alongside the body. We're gonna do what I call the toy soldier. You're gonna shrug the shoulders towards the ears, bend the arms at the elbows. Now from here, press your elbows into the floor so that the shoulder blades draw towards each other and the upper back moves away from the floor. So can you see I've created all this space beneath my upper back because I'm pressing my elbows down to fire the muscles of my upper back. The back of my head's pressing into the mat. My inner thighs are rooting down towards the sticky mat. And this pose has a lot of benefits. It'll help settle the thigh into the hip socket, which will make for a happy back. It strengthens your upper back, opening the chest, and it strengthens the neck. Good. And then on the exhale, release. Wonderful. Bending the legs, feet beneath the knees. If you have a block, take that block, slide it right underneath your bottom, underneath the sacrum. Sit bones come just a little towards the edge of it or slightly over. We're going to take a few deep breaths here. Now you can stay resting in this pose, a supportive bridge. It's a very nice one to do. Or if you want to play with inversions, you're going to stretch one leg at a time up towards the sky. Now, if you're on the right spot of the block, meaning you're just far forward enough, it should feel fairly easy to stretch the legs straight. You can always just do this with your feet against the wall or on a couch. You can bend the legs and bring the calves to the couch. No block necessary. And we'll take 2 more breaths. And then bending your legs, bring the feet down to the floor, lift your hips, slide the block out of the way. Slowly roll onto your side, and then using the strength of the arms, press all the way up. And that's our practice for today. Thanks for joining me on your mat. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.